Yo! Welcome back to Musings of Mavri, where I'm your host Mavri, and today we're going to be watching Kaguya-sama episode 9. So, last episode, we got a little hint of the backstory or settings of Kaguya and Ishigami. It really left me intrigued, especially middle school Kaguya. Also, why Ishigami turned out to be this gloomy dude that he is right now. But from comments by you guys, it seems that probably we're not going to explore that anytime soon. That's for maybe potentially the next season, once there is one. Although, since the anime has already set a precedent of adapting the chapters a little bit out of order from its manga source, who knows, maybe the anime will put its own specific twist on things. Beyond that, not much happening in the real world as well. They did announce that they're going to have a public recording of their radio show. In case you guys don't know, the voice actors for Kaguya and Chika, they host a is it weekly? They host a radio show, right? As a lot of Japanese anime shows do when the anime is broadcasting, and they're going to have a public recording near the end of this month, also near the end of the season. Now, probably you guys aren't going to be there, but I do have some hopes that maybe this, since it's a public event, maybe Chika, the voice actor, Kohara will dance the Chika dance? Question mark? I'm still waiting for it. She has said that she's willing to do it given the proper opportunity. So, who knows? Actually, the voice actors for the Prez and Ishigami are also going to host an event, but not really sure. It seems to be just a talk show, so hey. Anyways, it's been a long day. I'm ready for some laughs. Let's just watch the episode right now. So let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh. Dang. That's a folklore that parents use to scare their children. What? Huh? Wait, what? Hmm. Oh, come on. Normally, shouldn't you be sitting like this? Okay. Never mind. I know, it's part of the whole setting. But, really. And Chika's gonna ask? Good thinking. Good thinking. Ah, she's just being a good friend, right? She's scared of thunder. Close your eyes, cover your ears. All is good.
主戦度の会長がタクシーを選ぶとは考えづらい。だとすれば、おのずと私に頭を下げてくることは。
I don't think he really wants to be indebted to you, though.
これは勝ったでしょう。時給1000円で5時間分。しかし休むのはな。このタイミングでもう少し頑張りなさいよ、台風。どうやらあれはないようですね。
Wait, what?
会長がトイレから戻ってくるまでおよそ1分。その間に会長の充電池を入れ替える。あまりに時間が短い。難易度はベリーハード。
Why do you need to try it, though? Oh, it's a... Yeah, this is a new age smartphone. Ones where you can't actually change the batteries. Dang. I'm pretty sure you can't do it in 1 minute. She's not asking. He's not asking. This is... Ah. And there's the karma. Alright. Does Kaguya qualify as a tsundere now? Hmm. Visit chapter. Alright, so... Okay. The cliche... sick visit scene. Oh. And just as I was about to compliment him for having a straight head. I'm actually not sure what this game is. Is it match 2? Oh? Dang. Right, so sort of like a matching game. uh. Yeah, it's basically matching too. Oh, what did you see? Oh. Good idea. Good for you. $13? So she's putting them back in a pattern? Hmm. But that's not actually not cheating though. I don't think that's cheating though. Ishigami. Alright, that's enough. That's enough. What's with Ishigami's voice? Man, she's really a baby now. No. By the way, I really liked Chika's strategy for that. I don't think that's underhanded at all. That's amazing. Oh, hello. Who? Oh, she's trying to mask her appearance? Why? Good on the maid. Wait. What? What kind of cold is this? Does she actually have memories after her cold is gone? I feel like she's gonna be... It's... Ah. What? Oh my god. I don't quite think that's what Freud's theories entail. It doesn't really matter anyway, since most of Freud's theories have been put into question. By the way, I like the little accent that she's putting on. She's definitely up to no good right now. I call shenanigans. She's gonna be creating some situations, isn't she? I can already foresee that. Are you sure she's in the...
そうだったような、そうじゃないような。会長、怒ってる？ごめんなさい。いや、怒るようなことじゃ。私、いつも会長を。
Wow, she is really weak and vulnerable right now.
どうしたらいいかわからないの。初めてのことばかりだからわからないの。だから私が知ってるやり方しかできない。他のやり方を知らない。こういう風にしかできないの。だから今日はね、一緒にね。
What?
出てるんですか？
What?
ちょっと待って。篠宮は今起きたことも忘れてしまい、部屋には誰も入ってこない。このあまりに都合のいい状況。さすがに俺も自分を抑えられる自信がない。一体俺はどうなってしまうんだ。
Hit an eco? And she's okay now?
今何時？結構長い間寝てたんじゃ。
Hmm?
俺はただお見舞いに来て。それでベッドに潜り込む男がいました。信じられない。だからお前が誘って。そんなわけないでしょ。人が寝てる隙になんてひどい。最低。夢出て行ってください。あらら、やっぱりこうなりましたか。まあでも、それはもうぐっすり眠れたようですね。早坂、私どこまで会長。
Alright, so who lost? Ah, that was funny. Expected, but funny. Well, that was a very fun episode. I do like how they, again, are continuing with the format of spreading out one topic and then chopping them up into small mini episodes, and then finally accumulating into a final mini episode where we resolve the situation. So there's a setup and then there's a payoff at the end. I do dig this kind of format. In regards to the individual mini episodes, the first one, not much to talk about there, although I will mention that I believe the translation made an error there. So if you remember at the very beginning when Chika was saying futsu futsu and then the press was looking it up. So let me explain this a little bit. In Japanese, the same pronunciation can mean different words or different meanings depending on the context and the kanji that is used. So in this case, when Chika was originally saying futsu, it meant, obvious or generally. And so the press, even though I have no idea why he suddenly forgot what futsu meant, seriously, that's a pretty common word, decided to look it up for voice control, but then the futsu that the phone gave out was a different, it has a different kanji than the one that Chika was saying. So the kanji that was shown on the press's phone actually meant interrupted or blocked or something like that. So the translation there was a little off. So just an FYI for you guys. The second mini episode, not much to say there. I do like how Chika tried to gain an upper hand in playing those games. Now, personally, I feel like when you're trying to play a game, you should use any method you can to win. The first one, I guess, marked cards, yeah, come on, that's a little bit over the top. But I do really like her second round strategy of using, taking advantage of the asymmetric cards in order to devise this clever solution where she can memorize the cards more easily. So I don't know whether she was the one who proposed using the second set of cards. If she was, then okay, fine. That's a little bit too over the top as well. But if not, then I'd say that's a pretty clever way of playing that game. So props to her for thinking of this kind of method, and also props to the press for being able to decode it, right? Although one part that kind of bugged me in this episode was Ishigami. Like, since when did his character attain this kind of annoying personality, if I'm being completely honest? Like, in the past few episodes that he was in, yeah, I get it, he's gloomy, he's more pessimistic, he's more negative, but he wasn't annoying. In this episode, with him keep repeating words and whatnot, he really turned to be, someone who I kind of want to tell him to shut up, right? So I'm not saying it's bad or anything, it's just I feel like his personality suddenly seemed to have changed over the course of 2 episodes. So that was a little bit weird for me. One part I do also want to mention is in regards to the background music that's playing when the Prez is catching Chika in the act. So maybe it's just, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a point-and-click PC game called Deponia, but the BGM that was used in that scene for this episode reminded me a lot of the BGM of Deponia. I don't know if it's inspired by it or something, but I just thought it was fun. Not Deponia, and also Chaos on Deponia, a sort of like mix of the main themes of those two. So yeah, and then the final climax, if you will, of this episode, the third mini episode. First of all, I love how Hayasaka decided to sort of change her appearance a bit and change her accent. It was pretty obvious that she had a foreign accent in this episode, and I actually had thought that her role, her identity was well known within the school, but I guess apparently not, and this is a secret identity of her being a maid to Shirogane's family. So, okay. The part in the middle where they were discussing Freud, like I said, Freud's methods and his psychoanalysis stuff is kind of, it's not as universally accepted as it once was, right? So there's been a lot of controversy over his works, but I guess for the purpose of this episode, it doesn't really matter. They're just explaining what id and ego means, and for the most part, I believe they did a pretty good job of explaining it. So id is basically your primal desires, your wants, your needs, and ego is the logic and reasoning that keeps you in check, right? So you remove the ego, and then the id, or your primal desires, are free to run wild. And I do think that the drunk analogy that was used within this episode kind of, that makes a lot of sense, right? You are able to do more stuff that you normally wouldn't do when you are drunk, like making a fool out of yourself. If you're normally shy and reserved, you might suddenly be dancing. You might be asking the girl out, going like, "Hey, babe, let's have a drink together," something like that, which you normally might not do if you were sober, right? So nice analogy there, and definitely Kaguya looked kind of drunk, right? So that was a little funny part there. And also we got to know a little bit about the what's it called? the background of Kaguya, right? So we did see these, I guess, sort of like Shinomiya house rules, if you will. Basically saying stuff like, if you're not, do not rely on others, use others, do not receive from others, take from them, and do not love others, but remain empty. So the last part is a little bit hard to translate, but I think the general idea what it's trying to say is just do not allow your emotions to be swayed by something such as love. Remain empty, remain calm, so that you won't have a lapse in judgment. It's honestly, it's kind of cliche. A lot of rom-com animes or rom-com works which have rich families have some variation of this, right? But again, if it's done well, then okay. And in this case, it really does suit what they have been saying about Kaguya's character, especially in middle school. So probably she was raised in an environment where it's everyone for themselves. Think about yourself and your family first and foremost. The others are irrelevant, right? And it still shows from time to time in Kaguya's character. So that part I think was kind of interesting, and I've no doubt that probably we'll explore this more in the future, since this series seems to like to leave references, little pieces of references here and there, so you can later go back and go like, aha, that's what was mentioned during that time. So I dig that. So, and then, the ending of this is, again, a rom-com cliche, right? The Prez finally fell to his primal desires, although it wasn't his desire to produce offspring. It was his desire to have a good night's sleep. And then we get the misunderstanding and whatnot, so, yeah, it's whatever. I am kind of curious whether this is going to carry on to the next episode. Maybe at the beginning of the next episode, the two will be in kind of like an awkward state where they're too embarrassed to talk to each other, something like that. That'd be funny as well. Although I guess we can't really know until the next episode. So all in all, great episode, pretty funny if cliche. Let me know what you guys think, and I guess I'll see you guys next time on episode 10. So until then, stay tuned. Bye bye.